Business now. Charles Pellegrin is with us. We're focusing on the first day. The Panama Papers trial took place in Panama. First of all, Charles, just remind us what on earth this is all about. What are the Panama Papers?
That's right, Stuart. The Panama Papers is the name of an investigation led by the International Consortium for Investigative Journalists, which was published in 2016. It was based on a treasure trove of over 11 million documents from the Panama law firm Mossack Fonseca, which showed how many public figures from around the world managed to hide some of their assets and revenue streams from their national tax services and participated in money laundering schemes. Mossack Fonseca allegedly assisted in this by providing help in setting up offshore shell companies.
Lots of public figures were caught up in it, weren't they? Who are they?
Well, there were about 140 that were implicated, high-profile names such as Russian President Vladimir Putin, former British Prime Minister and current Foreign Minister David Cameron, Nawaz Sharif, the former Prime Minister of Pakistan, Mauricio Macri, the former President of Argentina, and international football star Lionel Messi. 12 of them are either former or current heads of state and government. 128 are high government officials, and 29 of them are among the world's 500 wealthiest people. The scandal led to the disclosure of the Mossack Fonseca firm in 2018 and badly hurt the reputation of Panama, which has since been placed on a blacklist for tax havens by the European Union.
I love your little graphic there with the guy with the top hat, Charles. Very nicely done. Tell us more then about how the first day went.
27 people are facing charges of money laundering in this trial, including the founders of the Mossack Fonseca law firm, Jürgen Mossack and Ramon Fonseca Mora. The former was present in the courtroom and denied any responsibility in these charges. The latter was absent because he's currently in a hospital. Each of the 27 accused could face up to 12 years in prison and is claiming they are innocent.
Could be tough, though, to get the charges to actually stick.
Well, the reason for this is that Panama's legal framework against money laundering and tax evasion wasn't yet in place when the scandal broke out back in 2016. Tax evasion has only been punishable as an offense since 2019, and only for amounts of over $300,000 per year. Before then, tax evasion wasn't considered as much an offense as a clerical infringement. And in 2021, the Supreme Court already exonerated a Mossack Fonseca employee on the grounds that at the time, her actions weren't technically an offense. Panama has implemented reforms to crack down on these offenses, and in 2023, those efforts paid off. The country was taken off the so-called gray list set up by the Financial Action Task Force, an intergovernmental organization that was set up to combat money laundering.
For this next story, we're going to talk about student loans. This is the US President Joe Biden taking another shot at cancelling federal student loan debt.
His new plan would erase at least some debt for more than 30 million Americans. The latest effort comes after conservative justices on the U.S. Supreme Court rejected Biden's first bid to wipe out several $100 billion in education debt. Bryan Quinn has the details.
If at first you don't succeed, try again. Monday saw President Joe Biden take off for Madison, Wisconsin, one of America's most iconic college towns and a liberal bastion in a key swing state, with a new plan for student debt relief.
I will never stop to deliver student debt relief on hardworking Americans, and it's only in the interest of America that we do it. And again, it's for the good of our economy.
Biden's plan would benefit some 30 million borrowers and is aimed particularly at those struggling with unpaid interest. Those who make more than $120,000 a year would see $20,000 in interest erased. Those at lower salaries would see their interest wiped out entirely. Those who have been paying undergrad loans for 20 years would have their entire balance cleared.
Hello, folks.
The president is trying once again to fulfill a key promise from his first campaign, part of a bid to energize young voters struggling with inflation and a prohibitively expensive housing market. Last year, the Supreme Court ruled that Biden had overstepped his authority with a $400 billion debt cancellation plan. The new proposal, though, whose estimated cost has not been released, relies on a different legal framework. Conservative opponents say the efforts are unfair, shifting debtors' burdens onto taxpayers who either didn't go to college or have already paid off their loans. Roughly 45 million Americans have federal student loans amounting to some $1.6 trillion.
And to end the business, quick look at the markets.
Absolutely. In Europe, at the open, we're seeing the major bourses trading lower as investors await fresh inflation data out of the U.S. on Wednesday. That data will inform the thinking of the Federal Reserve when it comes to cutting interest rates, a key factor, obviously, in the stock market's performance.
Charles, thanks very much. Charles with Business on France 24.